There we go. Right, Ross, are you in, mate?
Yeah, can you see me?
Um, yeah, there you are. Nice one. Right, this is Ross, guys. Ross, yeah, do you want to introduce yourself quickly? Because everyone knows me, but they don't know you.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. So, my name's Ross, husband, father to two kids, former Royal Marine, sort of a performance consultant. So I consult into businesses around performance, and I coach sort of self-employed dads as well with my own business. But I've been working with Dan now, uh, probably for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the best part of 4 years. So,
Five,
yeah,
five, I think. It was just after COVID, really, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, it was. Yeah, just after COVID. So it's been really good. And love coming on. Heard about the new guys who are coming into the group. So excited to see who's in here tonight. And yeah, it should be really good.
Yeah. Cheers, Ross. So, yeah, basically, guys, what we're going to do is just, as I say, we're just going to hit the first part of what we'll of the strategy in terms of defining the ideal client and getting you to that point. But like I said, because we're doing the community element, I was just hoping if we could just go around and everyone just introduce themselves, just say a bit about who you are and what you do and where you're from. So we could just go around the room. I'll just go through on my thing. Start with Paul. Paul, if you could just say a few words, pal.
No worries. Yeah, mortgage broker, been doing it for 10 years. 6 years on my own this month. Um, what else do you need to know? I guess, yeah, I mean, I think that when you're in your own business, you're always learning. I still feel like this year, I feel like it's new again because it's like every year there's just something, there's big
Yeah,
change. You're going to change something and adapt to, or try something new. Yeah,
100%.
it's exciting to try this to see what goes on with this now.
Yeah, that's business, isn't it? That's evolving. You need to evolve with the times, and times
Mm,
change, don't they? Things
mm.
change. So yeah, you need to be on the pulse with things, and or if you don't, you're just going to get left behind, which a lot of people are going to get left behind because there is a lot changing in the world at the moment, isn't there? Especially with all this AI and digital stuff. Yeah, and the people that are just not, there's a lot of people that are sleeping on this stuff, and they're just going to get left behind, I think. So. Yeah, you're making the right choice by being on this call. I think that's the first step of the process, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice one, Paul. Matt, if you want to say, introduce yourself, mate.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm Matt. I've been a mortgage broker for 7 years now. Three of those have been self-employed. Um, so yeah, I was hoping to, what everybody else has done, it learn, grow my client bank, and try and get my head around AI and stuff like that. I like to think I can get by on the technical side, but there's this AI stuff really coming in, isn't it? And
Yeah,
it would be good to get on board with like a community. We're all learning together and bounce ideas off each other, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a
yeah, nice
good
one.
place to start.
It is. Cheers, Matt. Sanjay.
Hi guys, I'm Sanjay. I work for John Charcoal. I've been mortgage broker, self-employed the whole time for the last 6 years or so. Yeah, same as you guys, trying to figure out new client generation techniques so that I can stop giving them half my money on the clients they give me.
Yeah, that's the aim of the game, isn't it?
That's it.
Keep as much as you can and
That's it.
not giving away as much as you want, if that makes sense. But yeah, 100%. Cheers, Sanjay.
No
Uh,
worries.
Stuart. You're on mute, mate.
I don't think he's on mute. I think there's something wrong with his microphone.
Is it?
Yeah, can't hear you, Stu.
Yeah, that's it. Any
There
better
you
than that?
go.
Well,
We've
yeah.
got a shoe. Nice one.
I was just saying I'm a musician, and the reason why that was broken was because my sound card for my all my music stuff was ruling my.
Too much technology. Technology
Yeah,
over.
too much tech. Yeah, so musician first and foremost. I play guitar in a heavy metal band. I've got two kids. We do a lot of surfing, water sports. And when I'm being less interesting, I run an insurance brokerage. Been doing it for about 10 years, got three advisors on board, and we're just looking at diversifying our lead portfolio. We do a lot of work in the armed forces, but it's a shrinking market and it's quite competitive from other brokers. So we're seeing lots of churn, lots of clawback, unnecessarily so. And yeah, just hoping to use Dan's system to get us moved away from that market sector essentially.
Yeah, cool. Makes sense. Cheers, Stu. And Jenny.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I don't know what to say. I've been arranging mortgages for over 20 years. I've always been in the corporate world up until about 3 years ago when I became self-employed. And I've been winging it, to be honest with you. And I'm not as
Like
busy as I
everyone
want to
else.
be. So yeah, I'm looking to just get back to doing the figures I was doing in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Cheers, Jenny. Yeah, right, nice one. It's good to just get everyone to know each other a bit, I think. So, yeah, the first step of the process then as to what we want to nail first. I know obviously some of you guys you kind of at different stages, but we're still within the same first chunk of it. But I'm just going to go around the room and just see where everybody is in terms of the niche and where they are at with that process. So, Paul, where are you at in that process, in the niche definition side of things? Have you looked through those modules yet, or where are you? Oh, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute, Paul.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the beginning, Dan. I haven't done anything.
Right, cool. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So Matt, where are you at? You the same or?
I've seen the first 5 or 6 videos, I think, and I think well, that's still going to be beneficial being on this one tonight. But I think I might have possibly identified the kind of client that I'm
Right.
looking to go for based on the kind of clients that I've dealt with previously.
What? Who
I'll
is
be
it?
honest, like not too many of them, but that's what I want to try and get to.
Yeah. Who is that then?
So it's either kind of like IT consultants that are self-employed. I've had quite a bit of success with in the last year, really. But they get paid in the foreign income, which is a bit of a niche, and they get quite paid quite well for it, and wanted to wealthy mortgages. And also on the other side, barristers and solicitors I've dealt with.
Yeah.
So it's something around there.
Yeah.
Not quite decided which particular one, or over time can check on all of them, can't you? But yeah.
What we want to start with, we want to start with one. We want to get
Yes, yeah,
nailed to one. So yeah, if you kind of torn between the two, obviously there's tick boxes that need ticking. One of them, one of the main ones, is obviously profitability. The
yeah,
bigger, because the bigger the mortgages that they're going for, the more you're going to get paid for that same amount of
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
So if there is one that you think is going to be more profitable, then it's worth leaning into that direction. And
yeah,
if you're unsure, we can just ask ChatGPT. Just literally say, looking at these two markets, which do you think is going to be more profitable for my mortgage business?
okay,
And that'll give you the response. But I'm leaning more towards the barrister side.
yeah, yeah. I was, to be honest, yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
That they were the bigger mortgages out of the.
yeah,
I only did like 2 or 3 previously, but yeah, they were the.
yeah.
Although the IT consultant ones were quite
And
good.
I think, did you say have you got experience in dealing with them as well? You've done a few in the past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was hoping to get passed on when I did, but don't
yeah,
know. Not that I haven't been. He might just come in the future. But
yeah. Well, I'd definitely, yeah, lean into that then.
yeah,
For those
yeah,
two options, I think that ticks us more boxes than the IT side. Um, so yeah, I'd 100% go and lean into that
yeah,
and get on with the next part of the process.
yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah,
I think for you that initially that's that tick that box ticks. Then that's that nailed in terms of
yeah, yeah,
finding your client.
yeah.
Um, Sanjay, where are you at with the process, mate? Have you had a look at the modules yet or not?
I've skimmed the modules, if I'm honest,
Yeah.
and today's probably my first like deep dive into it. So I know roughly, I know I need to figure out what my niche is going to be. I've got maybe a couple of ideas in mind, but I think by the end of today, I'm hoping to have it narrowed down.
Yeah. What are your ideas?
I'm thinking in terms of what I've actually dealt with in terms of clients. So foreign nationals that are working that are sort of 4 years in the UK, that are working for larger companies or sort of transferred from other countries. We get quite a few of them that come through our sort of normal lead gen through John Charcoal.
Right.
So we're quite used to working with them. In expats as well, but not so much. And in general, sort of employed tech industry professionals. That's generally what we get quite a bit of in terms of the higher end,
Yeah.
through what I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
they're the ones I've probably got the most experience with
Right.
as it is.
Yeah, they both sound good, but again, I think there's no. I'm not from what you've said there. I'm not leaning either way or the other. I'm
Yeah.
in the middle there. But yeah, it's like what have you? Your personal affinities, like, are you into tech and stuff, or is that something?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like the pay slips that they show us. That's pretty much about it. I don't have any other than obviously getting to grips with this kind of tech and AI and stuff. I'm probably surface level compared to
Yeah.
the guys that we get through. Probably more foreign national seems to be probably more bread and butter at the moment, I would say, compared to tech individuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the two is probably going to be for me. I would expect by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, again, it's got to be a niche that you enjoy dealing with those kind of
Yeah,
people, like you're on a level with, and so I think that's obviously one of the tick boxes is profitability,
yeah,
but it's not all about the money kind of thing. It's got to,
enjoy doing it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So yeah, that's again, I think the beauty of this day and age is obviously, yeah, you've got me and Ross and the community, but you've got AI as another kind of consultant,
yeah,
like a high level consultant that I've got no qualms in admitting it knows a shit ton more about this stuff than me. So you can ask it these questions and say, I'm thinking about these two niches for my mortgage. It is mortgages, isn't it, Sanjay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, yeah,
For the mortgage business. Um, which would you lean into based on my goals and things, and maybe
yeah,
put those in, and it'll give you some really nuanced answers, and
yeah,
it'll give you some. Oh God, I'm getting feedback on it. Yeah, it'll give you some really good feedback.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll check them. I'll check with Chat GPT, see what they're saying for me.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously in the modules,
Yeah.
we have got some actual engineered prompts that are strategically
Okay.
designed
Yeah.
to do that. So that will give you some general ideas, and then you'll just kind of reply to that and say, "I've got these ideas that you've just told me now in terms of those two," and
Yeah.
then just have a conversation with it and see what
Okay.
it gives you.
Cool.
Obviously, we've got a call next week. The hope is that we want to all get to the point of by next week that we've got that clearly defined by next week.
Yeah.
So if you can go through those modules, those first couple, and get to that point, obviously, if you need before next week, if you need me, just send me a message or post in the group, and I'll just feed you back on what your thoughts are and what ChatGPT has given you, and just where you're at in that process. Because, yeah, the hope is we want to nail next week in terms of doing the market research once we've defined the market. So hopefully by this time next week, we'll have clearly defined the market so we can go to the next part of the process, which will be, like I said, to do the market analysis and do the market research into that market that we've defined, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Cool. Right, and so cool, Stu. I know
Yeah,
we've chatted quite a bit about But where just refresh me where we're at.
Yeah, so I did a bit of a deep dive yesterday and today on this, and I've pretty much got all the way to doing the market research in Sales Navigator, which is really interesting. So essentially, the market that is coming out for me is fintech. So just to give everyone a bit of background, I don't do mortgages; I'm protection only, and it's all about for us. It's all about business protection and group PMI. And given my previous history as an IT project manager, it's very much leaning into fintech and health tech firms that software houses essentially, and those that are also venture capitalist backed and VC firms that specialize in seed funding for software houses in the fintech and health tech space. And bizarrely, I mean, that sounds very specialized. And actually, looking at the market segmentation in Sales Navigator, it was about 5,500 people that fit the bill of CEO, CTO, CIO roles.
Enough.
So really good decision makers in businesses that have a need for what I'm flogging.
Yeah. Yeah, that's enough for you, isn't it? You
Well,
don't.
I think it is, and then I think the biggest question we've got is thinking about do we niche down further? So okay, we've got our market, but now do is our messaging around a specific product? Do I go after them just purely around group private medical insurance, or am I going to be a more general insurance consultant? And I guess I was trying to rationalize this in the mortgage world, and I'd liken it to: do I go after them for just resi mortgages, or and leave buy to let off the table? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, in terms of the messaging, what's the best way to go? Is
Yeah.
it a little bit more generic?
No,
Um,
again, I'd say more specific and just go for one offer, one specific service that is
yeah.
most in need for that specific customer profile. And I think the business protection ticks the boxes on that.
Well, it gets really interesting because I asked ChatGPT this. So I said, right, okay, so bearing in mind that market, of the different products that I offer, which is likely to be most profitable? And I asked it the first time I asked it, I said, and the products are private medical insurance and business protection that also includes shareholder relevant life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And in that situation, it came back and said PMI.
Did
And then
it?
I reversed it, and I reversed engineered it, and I put the business same question, but I put business protection first, then PMI, and then it was like, well, do business protection. That's more profitable. So I think it has like an unconscious bias on a list.
Yeah. Right.
So it wasn't overly conclusive, is the honest
Fair,
answer to that.
fair, fair.
But
Well,
we've got a couple of because there's a few people in the business. I was thinking of testing and measuring and just setting up one profile that is just PMI specific, and then
yeah.
maybe another profile is a little bit more general, and we just see which one
Yeah, well,
works.
this is it. When we're kind of torn in that sense, the only one way to find out is just fucking do it and just
Just
find
do it.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
just throw one out there and just see what works and what doesn't, and then do less of what doesn't work and more of what does. Um,
Yeah,
so
because I'm guessing from in the mortgage space, you're not going to turn around and say I only do resi mortgages because you're leaving buy to lets off the table, you're leaving all those second home
yeah,
mortgages.
no, but you can it's just an offer, isn't it? I think it's just tailoring a specific offer around a specific customer profile and then just leading with that, but then
Yeah.
you can always upsell other stuff.
Well, that was my thinking was that what I really want is the one that's hookiest. So if I'm
Yeah.
going to go down a specific route, which product is most appealing? And then once I'm through the front door on the low hanging fruit, if you will, I can cross sell the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like getting the attention, and because I think when you're kind of throwing out everything that you do, it's just too much and it's just too confusing. It's just analysis paralysis, and people yeah, you just need to go succinct and just articulate one thing just to make it simple.
Yeah. And
It-
when in the $100 million offer module, that was really interesting because it actually built a package around business protection and PMI. And it diluted it into like a single sentence about how it all works,
Right. Yeah.
which I thought was really clever. I think that $100 million offer module is excellent.
Yeah. It's worth its weight in gold. That. I've got the book there. I've read it well twice now, and I've listened to it, and it's just changed my way of looking at business, and it's changed my business. Just
We were actually going to implement it for our military clients as well, so we
oh,
could
really?
we could drive more of those too.
Amazing. Yeah, it's worth its weight in gold, that book. Um, so yeah, so I think you're obviously there in terms of the customer profile now, aren't you? It's just now about just establishing the offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and sorry, the customer profile, who is it again? Remind me.
So it's businesses that are into fintech. So anyone who's selling software services into the financial services sector. It also came out with health tech as well. It's quite a growing industry. And
Yeah.
because I used to be an IT project manager in the NHS, I think it's kind of hooked into that,
Okay.
which makes a lot of sense because I know that world really well. Um, and it was also talking about venture capitalists as well. So I previously used to work for a VC company implementing software solutions for those guys. And so actually these fintechs, these software startups are often seed funded by venture capitalists, VC firms.
Yeah.
And actually, from a business protection point of view, it's all about sound investment and keeping the cash safe. And so we can protect investments through shareholder protection, business loan coverage, and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. So it
Okay.
really appeals to those guys as well.
Yeah. And so that's a couple then. A couple of markets.
Yeah, yeah. So it was, yes, it's fintech, health tech, and venture capitalists.
Right. And so we thinking out of those three, because again, I think it's,
Do I need to narrow this down even further?
I reckon, yeah,
Yeah, it's a test and measure, I guess. I think any of them will work.
yeah,
I'm confident. I probably feel a bit feel like I'm leaning more towards the fintech side of things, only because I know a guy who runs FinTech West, and there's a few other fintech um, support groups for startup and scale up businesses that are specializing in fintech solutions, and I've already got a network around that.
all right,
So it seems fairly sensible to just plug into it.
yeah. That ticks the boxes, doesn't it? I think,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Well, that's it then. I think we should go for that and just nail that. Again, I think the next part of the process is just to dig mega deep into that customer profile in terms of the psychology and do again. We've got AI to do that for us, which
Yeah,
I'll show you next week. So in the modules, because there is, since I did those modules, again, AI is just changing that fast. It's evolving that fast. There's new stuff now that I've been using in terms of that market research process, which is just makes that even in the modules that process is efficient. It's fast with the prompts and stuff that we use on ChatGPT. But now, even as I say, about 6 months ago, there's something even better now in terms of the deep research side of things. So I'm going to show you guys that so we get access to that rather than so next week I'll show you how to do that. Obviously, yeah, the modules are there, but this stuff that I'll show you is a lot more powerful. But yeah,
right.
next part of the process is to do that market research side and dig mega deep into the psychology of that market. So
Okay.
the point of today is just to define exactly who that is. So next week we can roll with the next part of the process, which is to, like I say, dig into that market and do the market analysis. But yeah, cool. I think we're there with that then, Stu, already.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dan.
All right, Stu, nice one, no problem. So Jenny, I know you've obviously literally just come in today, haven't you? So you've
Yeah.
well, have you had to scan through the modules or?
No, no, I don't even. Are they on the app, the school
Ye-
app?
Yeah, yeah. So you can log in through the app, or if you're actually watching them, I think the best is to do it on a laptop or a PC. But
Yeah, I can do it on my PC.
yeah, but the app's good just for keeping in touch with us in terms of like the community, and you'll get notifications. And if you want to message me and stuff, it's good to just have it on your app on your phone, I think. But have you any ideas as to a market in terms of where you want to go at? Because obviously the first part of the process, that's fine if you've not,
Got no idea. Honestly, I've got no idea. I don't deal with any particular type of clients.
yeah,
I don't have a trend. I don't. Just deal with
yeah.
everyone and anyone.
Well, this is something we're going to change with this process because we need to get mega specific as to who we're going to go after. Because I think that is a problem that a lot of people have is that they are just general,
Yeah.
and I think it just leads to just working a lot, taking on a lot of different customer profiles and different customer values.
Mm.
And yeah, it's your time, isn't it? You could
Yeah.
spend that same amount of time placing a client that's worth £1,000 to one that's worth £5,000. So we may as well be spending that time on the £5,000 clients and attracting those £5,000 clients. And well, it's defining who they are first, which is the first part of this process. So obviously, again, it's not just you just to think about it yourself and work this stuff out yourself, Jenny. You've got us and you've got AI. This is what we're showing you in these modules, how to use AI to
Okay.
use. So you go through that process in the modules. I'll just quickly show you, in fact, I'll just share my screen and I'll show you where we're at with the modules. Just a sec.
How many modules is that?
I'll tell you now. There's not many. Well, for this first part of the process, we'll just focus on that, and there's just literally two.
Okay.
And they're pretty short. So this first one is 15 minutes. Can you see the screen? Where it's,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is 15 minutes. So this just gives you a bit of an intro into what I've just talked about there in terms of the benefits of defining a niche, really. And there's a worksheet that I get to fill out here, which is just talking about digging into your personal strengths and your interests and hobbies and things, and pick clients that you've dealt with in the past. If you do struggle with that, then it doesn't matter. You don't have to fill it out verbatim. It's just if you can answer it, great. If you can't, don't worry. Um, but it'll help if you can. But if you can't, it's not the end of the world. But then we're going to use that data to plug into ChatGPT. So these are prompts. This next module talks about these prompts and how to use these prompts. So prompts are basically. Have you used ChatGPT, Jenny?
I've never even heard of it. Sorry, I was just about to say, you're saying things I don't even know what they mean.
No worries. Well, I'll show you. ChatGPT is it's a large language model, they're called an LLM. So this is AI basically. So
Okay.
it's like Google in a way, but it knows a hell of a lot more than Google, and it's a lot more nuanced, and it's just yeah, it's like the next version of Google. It's like an upgraded, 100 times upgraded version of Google, if that makes sense.
Right.
But we're basically asking it things like you would ask Google things,
Yeah.
but the more detailed that more detailed prompts, we call it prompts when we're asking it things. The more detailed the prompt, the better the results we're going to get back. And so what we're asking it, this first prompt is basically asking it to give us some ideas of good niches to go for a mortgage business. So this first prompt is saying acts like an experienced market analysis specializing in UK financial services sector. You've got over 20 years of experience in identifying profitable niches for businesses with a deep understanding of the UK mortgage market. Your expertise includes demographic analysis, economic trends, and leveraging professional networks like LinkedIn for market research and targeted marketing. I'll not read through the lot through it all because it's a lot, but you get the gist. It's we're basically asking it to give us some ideas in terms of niche. So that'll give you some general ideas, but then we'll follow that up with the personalized prompt, which is based on if you get those answers from that worksheet, we can put them in there and say, because it'll give you some general ideas, and then you'll respond to that and say, these are my personal affinities, or I've got experience in this. What do you suggest? And then that'll give you some more nuanced answers based on what we talked about in terms of your personal affinities and your if you've got experience in helping a specific industry. So It'll make it a lot clearer when you actually go through and watch these modules, Jenny, and actually do it. But that just gives you a basic overview of what I want you to do for next week if you can.
So it's just those two
Yeah,
modules.
yeah. So it's just those first two. So if you can get to that point, and like I said before, to one of the other guys, if you need me between now and next week, you can just post in the group or shoot me a message in school and let me know where you're at in that process. If you're stuck, or just to let me know where you're at with things. Even if you're not stuck, just say this is what's happening. This is what ChatGPT is telling me. This is what I'm thinking. Just to get my feedback on things. But yeah, if we could get to that point for next week, that Jenny, that'll be good, and then we can go on to the next part.
Yeah,
Do you reckon you're all right with that then?
I'll give it a go. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
completely. It's just completely. I've never done anything like this before, so yeah, I'm sure I'll be okay. But yeah,
That's it. It's like anything new. It's daunting, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It really is. To be honest, I
Yeah.
haven't got a clue what I'm doing,
Yeah,
but I'll get there.
that's it. That's the well. If you've got that mindset, then that's all you need, and you will get there. So
I keep telling myself that.
yeah, well, you've turned up to this call. You've invested in this, so that's the first step. So
I nearly chickened out though.
Say
Being
again?
honest, I nearly chickened out.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. That's the
I
thing.
know. Yeah.
Nice one. Right, Ross, have you
Yeah.
got?
So guys, just an observation, and look, I've fallen foul of this in the past as well. Is we're trying to get to the answer yes or no as quick as possible. So sometimes sitting on three or four niches and then trying to figure out which one's the best one. Sometimes it gets to a point where you just have to hit the nail on the head and go, right, I'm going to push on this one and I'm going to give it what we used to call it a backstop in the military. Was like, right, I'm going to give it X amount of weeks or X amount of responses, and then I'm going to switch. So it's best to all we're trying to do is get to the answer yes or no. And in all the stuff that we've done, everything that we've done in the past will leave us some clues of the type of people we like to work with. So Jenny, I know you were like, yeah, I'll just work with anybody. Even within that, there'll be a trend, okay? Whether the trend is middle-aged women, middle-aged men. We had a client in here before. Actually, her name was Jenny, and it turned out that her niche was sort of middle-aged women whose husbands had promised them that they were going to sort the mortgage out and didn't. And these were then annoyed women who were complaining about their husbands. And Jenny just like she hated them to begin with, but then realized that was her niche, lent into it, and absolutely smashed it. So there will be clues in who you've worked with, how you felt about working with them. It's nice to hear some of you guys talk about the stuff that you're interested in as well. Sometimes that's a bonus. Sometimes you don't actually have to be overly interested in the industry. You just have to be able to provide a really, really good service. But we're just trying to get to that point, yes or no. So with regards to the accountability, I'm going to be all over you guys between now and next week saying, right, okay, let's nail it. What's this niche looking like? And then if we comes down to two or three options, we'll pick one and then we'll push on that one. And then we'll work out when we're going to stop and come back and look at it again. But we're just looking to take action. And Jenny, it's great you admitted about being scared, a bit of a fear coming on. Yeah, we all get like that. Action beats fear every time. You know, just those small steps. Doesn't have to be massive. Just those small little steps moving towards where we're trying to get to just make it a lot easier to do. All right. So we're going to keep sort of pushing that. And that'll be the big focus from my side of it. And then just holding you accountable for those little tasks along the way will just make this a whole lot easier.
Sweet.
And Ross, on that, if we're going out, does it matter if we go all in on a niche and we've built our LinkedIn profile to support that, and then we need to change our mind and we need to pivot to something else? Does it matter that we've said, oh, we're an expert in this and that didn't work? Is there any credibility issues in terms of
I'd say no.
changing tact? Or does anybody even care?
Well, I guess so. Here's the question then. So Dan will probably be able to answer that better, just based on the kind of like how LinkedIn works. But if you think about it, how many people do we follow on social media that then we notice that they've changed a topic that they're talking about? Like I couldn't tell you anybody I'm following that's suddenly gone, oh, hold up, you mentioned something different 2 weeks ago. So I guess there might be a bit of unless you're paying really close attention. But
Yeah.
what we get to do is we get to, and this is the great thing about it, we get to openly go, look, I was trying to push into the finance tech side of it, or the fintech, or the actually, and then you get to go, well, actually, I went down fintech and then I became really interested in health tech. And actually, I found some really similarities between health tech. And I've got a buddy that does this.
Yeah.
And that almost brings around part of your story. Because when
different
we're
story
trying
with
to
it.
communicate with people, we're just all we're having is an experience. So we're just two entities having an experience. So all we're trying to do is increase the likelihood that they're going to trust you to buy something from you. That's ultimately what we're trying to do. So the more real you are about stuff, I call it the bullshit filter. We live in a world where we flick through our phones either up and down or left or right. If something doesn't resonate with us straight away, we just move on to the next thing. We've already gone. Like our bullshit filter is like sky high, and the younger generation are even better. But we know if something doesn't sound authentic, if something doesn't sound right, we've already moved on to the next thing. So all we're trying to be as authentic as possible. And if we lean into something that we kind of like don't know what we're talking about, we'll get found out at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get found out. And even if you, like I said earlier about, even if you've not got a massive history or interest in a certain demographic or an area of business, you get to use that as part of your story. I found working with these types of people that although I don't know the business, I know X, Y, and Z. And these are the same problems that pop up everywhere. And you just get to have it as part of your story. And then that just makes you a little bit more believable, which means you're a little bit more trusted. I'm just trying to get to the answer, yes or no. Do I trust this person to sell me this service? Yes, brilliant. No, move on. And we're just trying to help them do that. And the more authentic and honest we are, the easier that becomes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense because you can spin anything, right?
Absolutely. And this is the thing. It's like we just have to, all we're trying to do, and I love having these conversations. And I messaged Dan when I saw some of the chat popping in and around. I was like, Dan, we need to do this. We need to talk about that because you guys have a responsibility. And I used to push it even harder with some of the other clients and go like, you almost have a moral responsibility to provide the greatest, if it's insurance, the greatest cover, or if it's a mortgage, it's provide the greatest offer because you literally are changing people's lives in providing them with a service that they wouldn't get somewhere else. And it allows them to take that first step on the ladder for having a property. Or if it's insurance, you're covering something that had they not had it covered, it could be devastating. So you almost have a responsibility here to go, right, I need to make sure I am doing the best by these people. So I'm going to be as clear and as honest and as authentic as I can be. And when you do that, it's brilliant. And honestly, we've had clients in here before. Dan, who was the builder whose mates used to give him a load of grief?
From Leeds.
Yeah.
Got his name. I know what you mean.
But he was great and he was trying to portray to be something he wasn't. And then he just suddenly was like, no. And his metric of how well he was doing was how much piss his friends took out of him about his posts.
Yeah.
But they still then recommended all of his services.
Yeah.
And the last message he sent into the group was a picture of him in, where was he on holiday? Did he go to the Maldives or somewhere?
I'm not sure.
He posted some silly thing saying, I've had an amazing 3 months or whatever. And this was a guy who wouldn't take holidays. He was like just constantly battling against it. And as soon as he accepted who he was working with and he accepted that was the way he spoke and that was the way he delivered his content and that was the way he delivered his message, the work just started to be there. And he just remained really authentic, but he did lean in to finding his niche and just sitting into it. Yeah, and that's what we guys are trying to get to now in this sort of early stages in the modules.
So many people who hold back from doing that, don't they? Because they don't want to put themselves out there because of the negative feedback that they might get from the peers and the people online.
Absolutely. And we compare ourselves to the social media icons and all this stuff. But they're good because they're the best versions of being themselves. All we can do is be who we are. And as long as we accept that, the fact that you said straight away, Stuart, there's going to be stuff around music that will sit with you. Like all it takes is that little thing that goes, oh yeah, I just trust this guy because he plays bass or whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're trying to help that relationship be formed with people and we're just trying to do it in an authentic way.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when I got the ChatGPT to build out the LinkedIn profile based on the niche, it was talking about I needed to have experience in placing X millions of pounds of cover for these particular individuals, and my bullshit meter was going, I can't write that because I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, no, best no, don't put anything that you've never done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. You get to talk about how previous work you've done relates to the future work you're looking for,
yeah,
and ultimately you get to share stories about how you helped X, Y, and Z in a different market, but it was the same product,
yeah.
and it just helps that resonate with people.
Okay, that's cool because that was one of my worries was not looking authentic when I make this change.
Yeah. And it will be. And look, when you guys get into posting and all this stuff, you'll all find your own way of doing it and what it looks like. And yeah, that'll be the stuff that just makes it a little bit easier for people to go, there's this somebody I know. I can't remember what he does, but he's definitely the guy for this insurance. I'm sure he's in a band. I'm sure I've seen him. He's in a band. And then that's the point of contact and your detail gets shared. It's little things like that that help it out.
Well, if they're not buying insurance, they can buy a ticket to a gig.
Well, there you go then. Everyone's a winner.
Double bubble. All right, guys. Anybody got any questions or any thoughts or anything they want to feed back to us?
Yeah, I have. What does is it HNW? Have I seen that knocking around? What's
High
that
net
stand for?
worth.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah,
Oh,
they're the clients we want. Because again, the whole point of what we're doing is going for big stuff, going for high net worth customer profiles that are going for big mortgages. So yeah, that's the high H and W high net worth.
Jenny, the great thing about you is because you've not used ChatGPT, honestly, when you start to play around with this, you are going to be absolutely blown away. Like
Yeah,
genuinely, like I saw the other guy's face and you're like, oh, I'm not sure what it is. To honestly, to know that you're starting here. So anything you do now in ChatGPT is just going to be like exponential in that kind of like early stages because it's so new to you.
yeah,
So
it is.
just take your time with it, honestly. And it's exciting to use it. And I go through these same prompts and stuff, and I've tried them out of my business, and I've been doing this like Dan's saying that for years. And seeing it when it starts to just click for people is amazing. But because you've got nothing to compare it to, you're in this
No.
beautiful place where you're like, it can only be a good thing now because I'm already here, and all I'm going to do now is just start to slowly move up the ladder.
yeah. Yeah, once you start to get to use ChatGPT, you'll start to use it for all sorts, not just business stuff, but
Yeah.
I use it for all sorts of things. I could ask it for recipes of food, or it's just like use it instead of Google, you could use that, ask it all sorts, but it'll just give you succinct answers to whatever you want to know about anything.
How do you even get on it? How
Chat,
didn't I
ChatGPT,
don't even know what I'm doing. I've got no idea.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
it's just chatgpt.com, I think, does it?
Oh, okay, right, that easy. I don't know. I didn't know if it was like something that was exclusive to you, or I don't have a clue.
You can pay for it, or there's a free version, or you can pay for it. I pay for it because I use it every fucking day, all day, and it's worth me paying for it. If you're going to be using it a lot, which I think you should do, then it is worth paying it. Well, it's $20 a month, but you can get good results from it for free. But like I say, I do recommend paying for it. But like I say, the free version, if you've not used anything, the free version is
No,
good
no.
enough to just to get to grips with it.
Oh,
But yeah, like I say, it's just yeah, just chatgpt.com.
fine. I feel stupid now, but I'm glad I asked.
Not at all. Not at all.
Right, guys, we any other questions at all?
Yeah, I've probably got about 10 million, but I'll put it all on the group tonight.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're
One
here.
quick one from me, Dan. Sorry. Where's the group that you were talking about? Am I in the LinkedIn group?
Right, yeah.
Is it on Facebook? Is it on LinkedIn? I've no
No, it's
idea.
on school.
Oh, it's on school, is it? Okay.
So let me share my screen and just show you quickly. So,
It's all right, Jenny. It's my. I don't know what's going on either.
can you see my screen now?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So are you in this one, Stu?
Yeah, I've got that one. Bear with. I can open that one. I'm literally in it now. So if I go classroom and then LinkedIn lead generator. Oh no, it says new age advisor at the top there.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think you were just a new age advisor, so I'll send you. an invite for it, Stu,
Okay.
after this. Because yeah, this is where.
Can't you, sorry, I think I might know the answer to this. Can't you go into the left-hand corner and switch communities?
Oh, try that, Stu.
Left-hand corner, switch communities. And then
Jenny's
if
all
I
over it.
Jenny's got this sorted. She knows exactly what's going on. Never mind my 10 years of an IT as an IT consultant and project manager. What am I searching for?
So yeah,
I can't. In the left-hand corner, you've got the three lines. You can click on that, and then you can do
do you want to share
switch
your screen, Stu?
communities.
I'll do that. Give me a sec.
I'm doing it on my phone now, so I don't know if it's different from what you're looking at. But if it comes up,
It's the same, I think, on the phone as the. Yeah, you should be able to tab
and then
through.
you'll have both of them there. You'll have New Age and you'll have LinkedIn Lead Gen.
Right. Is that sharing? I think it is.
No, can't see it.
Allow. Yeah, just get on with it. So I'm on a Mac. It's not that. 2 secs.
Yeah.
Zoom, allow. There we go. Let's try that again.
There we go. Yeah, so
Okay.
at the top where it says New Age Advisor, those little tabs, those little arrows, can you? Yeah, no, you've not got access to it yet. Right, I'll send you an invite after this, Stu, and
Yeah, sure. Okay.
you'll see it there. Like Jenny says, you'll be able to tab through. You'll see the LinkedIn course when I send you the invite.
So what's the difference between New Age Advisor and the LinkedIn one?
Basically, this is New Age Advisors where I've had everything for years. But I've just taken the LinkedIn part of it into this new platform and succinct it and made it a lot more
I see.
down, really.
Yeah.
Into shorter modules, and the community as well is there's more people in that community that we've got on the LinkedIn side.
Sure.
So that's where there's more activity in the community and stuff. So
I
I'd
see.
focus on that side.
Yeah, cool. Send me the invite and I'll get stuck in.
Yeah, cool. Right. Anybody else got any questions or anything before we sign off? Or are we all good?
No.
Cool. Nice, guys. So I think next week, is everyone all right to do 7:30?
No, obviously, I have a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
So you won't be asleep at 7:30 then.
So what you said, you can't do it?
No, I'm joking. Of course, yeah.
You can't.
Who needs sleep anyway?
Exactly. It's overrated, isn't it?
Is it going to be Thursday again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
mean 7:30 in the morning?
No, afternoon, evening. Right.
That's fine. I could do 4:30.
Yeah, no, we'll do 7:30. We'll keep it to 7:30. Yeah, so 7:30 next week then, guys. All
Yeah.
good?
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome.
Right. Like I say,
So
if you
guys,
need more-
if between now and next week you have any questions about any stuff, like anything that's going on, just drop it into the chat. Loads of stuff will come up, and as we get further and further into this, you'll kind of get a grips with what Dan throws in, what I bring to the table as well. So there's lots of stuff going on that impacts our ability to get work done. So if stuff's playing on your mind, just drop us a message. Yeah, guys, I'm struggling with this, or this is going on. Throw it in. More than likely, someone in here has got a similar challenge, or someone we've worked with in the past has had something going on. All right. So everyone's got their own stuff going on. Let's sort of just help each other square this away. And yeah, let's find as many reasons to move the needle forward rather than just sit and procrastinate on it, which we can all do. We just need that regular kick up the backside. And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, we all do need that kick up the backside.
I think you sorry to interrupt. I think you said that you're going to record them all, aren't you? Because next week I can't make, but I'm doing the following 2 Thursdays. But you're recording them, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, we're recording them. Oh, is it next week you can't make? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're recording it. When was it that you said at 7:30? Well, was that the week after?
I think that was the following after next. I could do 7:30 onwards, but next weekend, next week, sorry, I can't do. But I'll just look at the recording on that one.
Yeah. Oh, so it's the week after 7:30.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right, guys. So we'll do 7. We'll go retract that. We'll do 7 p.m. next week, but week after 7:30, if that's all right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Perfect. Right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention and your time. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Nice to meet you all, guys.
Nice to meet you guys. See you
Catch up
soon.
next week.
Bye. See you
Take it
later.
easy. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye all.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.